can appear to be a little bit of a mystery, but actually they're relatively simple beings, and what they want from a relationship is pretty standard for every male. So we have compiled a list together for you of the top things that men are looking for in a partner and in a long-term relationship. So if you want to know a little bit more, don't move an inch. Consider liking and subscribing to the channel so we know that you enjoy this content. And let's get ready. Honesty. One of the most important things for a man when looking for a partner is actually being on the same page as what women are looking for, and that's honesty. Because a strong relationship is built on a foundation of trust, and this can only be built and maintained if both of you are honest with each other. And this doesn't just apply to the big things, but those teeny tiny things too. If you think it's okay to lie to your partner about something small, and then, they find out, they may struggle to actually trust you when it comes to those bigger, more important issues. Independence. A man's freedom and his independence are very important to him, so he will not want to feel as though he is being tied down by a girlfriend. We discussed that your fella wants to be able to trust you, right? But equally, he wants you to trust him. So this means that you can allow him that time away from the relationship so he can hang out with friends or family without you worrying about what he's getting up to and checking in on him every 5 minutes. He wants to be needed. Yeah, he wants some time away and independence every now and again, but at the same time, he does want to feel as though he is needed by you. Not desperately need you here all the time type of needy value, but he wants to give value in his presence. Allowing him to help you with things from time to time is going to give him an incredible ego boost. And we all know that men love to look after their egos. Hugs and affection. Even in this modern age, the old school image of men being hyper macho, super masculine and unfeeling is kind of still widely portrayed in movies and TV, and this is vastly outdated. It's a bad representation of men, and it can leave women thinking that they don't actually need affection like we do, but it's completely false. Men love a cuddle, come on, admit it, and a show of affection as much as the next person. Romance. As with the last point, we often still have the 1950s model in our head about guys doing the romancing and women are to be romanced. But again, in the modern world, this has changed and men do appreciate a bit of romance. Whether it's a surprise gift, a candlelit meal, or just a cute little note that is hidden somewhere, then he can find it, he will love it. Sense of humour. We all know it's great to spend time with someone that has a great sense of humour, who can make us laugh. So of course, both men and women are going to keep this in mind when choosing a long-term partner. Having a partner that you can share a joke with just makes life a little bit brighter on those rainy days. Positivity. I think it's fair to say that we all want to be with someone who will raise us up, not drag us down. Being with someone who has a positive outlook helps us to also feel more positive and optimistic about what tomorrow will bring. Additionally, men often feel that there is a role to make you happy, and if you are unhappy, they interpret this as a personal failure of their own. And being with a positive woman is easier on them as they can relax a little bit more. Communication. It is every boy's dream to be with a woman who communicates clearly what they want, when they want it, and how they want it. This eliminates the need for him to second guess his partner's thoughts and feelings, and again, it means he can relax in the relationship. Now, men generally want to avoid game playing, and clear communication is the exact opposite of this. Now, it doesn't matter how much we assume a guy should know how we feel, they never do, so we have to be very honest. Confidence and decisiveness. This carries on from the last point. Men want a lady who can say what she wants. Confidence and decisiveness in a partner is a very desirable trait that men are actively looking for. Respect. This one almost goes without saying. Men want respect from their partner in the same way that we expect them to respect us. Respect shows itself in good manners, respecting boundaries, keeping in mind a person's feelings or requests, and not taking their actions or their presence for granted. Support. Guys want to receive support from their partner. This doesn't mean financial support, but emotional support. They need someone who they can go to when they're having a bad day and someone that can help cheer them up, and someone to celebrate their wins with. No matter how much we don't consider it a win, if they win on a game, we still should celebrate it a little bit. They want someone who will encourage them and who truly believes in them. Appreciation. To be appreciated by your partner, well, it's priceless and something that men yearn for. Receiving gratitude and thanks for the things that they do lets them know that they are doing things and they are not going unnoticed. Because who doesn't love receiving praise, right? Clever. Men seek out smart women who match their intellect. In fact, it's not just men who do this. Everyone wants to have someone who is on the same level as them. It makes the dating a lot easier. This way they can have intelligent conversations that go both ways. You can bounce ideas off each other and make big decisions together. Reasonable. We spoke earlier about the ways men are sometimes portrayed in the media in a very old-fashioned way, but the truth is the same of women. Often in films, the women are neurotic, needy, and quite frankly, a little bit crazy. And we know this is not an honest representation of women at all. However, it sets in a fear early on in boys that they will end up with a girl like this, who can't be reasoned with. And a girl who is logical and reasonable appears to be a holy grail to boys who have been conditioned to think that women are a little bit bonkers when it comes to relationships. Self-sufficient. As much as men want to feel needed in a relationship, they don't want to carry all the responsibility on their shoulders. This is why a strong, self-sufficient female is very attractive to a male. A little bit of this even connects to that primal instinct. At the end of the day, let's face it, we've evolved from animals who are simply looking for a mate that would make a good parent. And a strong woman satisfies this primal urge so that responsibilities can be split and the family unit can thrive, even if the family unit is just the two of you. Good looks. Speaking of primal instinct, males are naturally very visual creatures and are driven largely by the urge to do the deed. You know what I'm on about. An attractive girl is really all it takes to kick that animal urge into gear, disregard any logical thinking, and even in some cases disregard every other thing they would ideally want in a mate. And of course, what qualifies as good looking is different for every single man. Harmony. I mentioned a little bit earlier on that men will do their best to avoid game playing. This is because game playing attracts drama, and they simply don't want any drama in their life. Genuinely speaking, they want their relationships to be peaceful and harmonious, especially as they mature. Men will avoid the woman who always seems to have some new, elaborate, overly sensationalized issue going on in their life. Loyalty. Guys want someone by their side who they know they can depend on through the good times, but also through the bad times. To have a loyal someone by your side is an amazing feeling and can make you feel invincible, so of course, men will look for this. To be cared for. Blokes will look for a lady who is caring. It is sometimes to a fault that they will want to be looked after, and you may have to go through meeting some boys who seem to be looking for a new mother figure rather than a romantic partner. This is something to look out for sure. But the same as you would want to be cared for, a good man will want to receive some level of pampering from their significant other. Whether this is looking after them when they are sick, cooking them a dinner after a long day, or even just lending a sympathetic ear. To be listened to. This one almost comes into the same point as respect. Part of respecting a person is listening to what they have to say. I mean genuinely listening to, not just the robotic nodding along. Whether it's about the latest issue at work, the newest technology that they're excited about, or problems that they are having with friends or family, he wants to have someone that he can share his thoughts with, someone that will really truly listen to what he is saying. Compassion. As discussed, men are not always as tough as they are sometimes made out to be. They need to receive compassion and understanding and will really appreciate a lady who can offer them this and not expect them to just man up. Excitement. A little bit of adventure is the spice of life, and if a guy meets a lady who can consistently get him excited, he again may forget some of the other things that he usually wants from a lady. This excitement can come from taking risks together. It could be going to some unusual places. It could be being spontaneous or mixing it up in the bedroom. Authenticity. He wants someone who is comfortable just being themselves. And if you're trying hard to be something else or putting on a show, well, this will be apparent. Possibly not straight away, but it will come to the surface eventually. I mean, think about it. Would you want to spend time with someone who is putting on a front and being fake? Of course you wouldn't. Love. Above all else, men want love. They want to love and to be loved. It's what makes us human. And if he doesn't want to be loved for who he is or what he does, but just for being him, that is true love, and it is what we are all searching for ultimately.